one or two new ones, Coro. Jimmy Samuels from Tuatapri up into the open nowadays. He's gone through the grades.
Is there a changing of the tides?
There may well be. There may well be. But we've got the king down there on stand number 6 as well. 16 times winner of Golden Shears down there, and David Fagan, ladies and gentlemen, 5 times world champion. Just goes on, and he's still going.
Well, we had the Big Bang speed shear last night. That guy was there in the catching pen, the marquee. 23.6 seconds. David deflocked a sheep. They dead-headed him and Dion King.
23.6 seconds.
So he's fired up, this guy.
He's on the tree, all right.
He's absolutely fired up. Wendy obviously looks after him well on the eating side of it because he doesn't look 50, does he?
Makes you jealous,
He's the best-looking 50-year-old I know.
He's put a sheep out. Ooh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, David Fagan has made the Golden Shears his home, hasn't he?
Absolutely, and he's been one of our amazing ambassadors. Just like our racing car man, this man is one of our champions as well. Okay, the referee's not too far away. You got an itch there.
Touching my back.
Yeah, okay. So with the referee just doing his job now, making sure that everything's right.
What they're doing at the moment in Taratahi, ladies and gentlemen, the agricultural training farm, the students are up there. They are having one or two words to those people because they're very important how the sheep gets presented to the shearers. And David, you saw in there talking to the Taratahi. I want this one and that one and so forth. Okay, Phil, over to you.
All right, Graham. Our referee's happy. We look for the green light. Shearers on the board. Are we all happy down that end? Is he happy down there, Graham? Okay, timekeepers ready. Judges ready. Competitors, get set, go! You watch the doors fly open and they're straight back onto the board with their first sheep. Now we're going to just see, this is going to be a real cracker, I reckon. We've got 2 or 3 young ones. Sean Edmonds, full of experience. Beautiful slow hand on stand number 4. The man from Wanganui, but by Joves, we've got David Fagan down there and he's up the neck already on stand number 6. James Fagan on 1, he's into the first front shoulder. Angus Moore on stand number 2 from Ward. Then we got this newcomer, young Jimmy Samuels on Tuatapri down there in the deep south, and look at him, he wants to be right in it. Then we go to Sean Edmonds from Wanganui on stand 4. On 5 is Nathan Stratford from Invercargill. But it's all the man down there on stand number 6, David Fagan. And look at this, 46 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Quick, quick, quick. You're going to miss him as he goes back in. Here he goes. Give them a hand as they get ready. And the Bantam Rooster is there, John, on stand 1.
The one either end of the forward, the Fagans. They're just loving it here. The old master, he tries to spook the young fellows into a little bit of a hassle, but Jimmy Samuels, the new chum on the block, he says, I'm not having any of that. I'm just going to shear you and block you out and get it done. Angus Moore, he's been up here before in this event, and he can shear like the wind too. Jimmy Fagan, the old pocket rocket, round the back of the head he goes now, working the first shoulder off as David Fagan drops in towards the long bow. Down there, Nathan Stratford. The Invercargill man drops into the long blow now on stand 5. Sean Edmonds from Wanganui right there as well, down towards the first shoulder, just a little bit back off the pace. Shows good quality, of course, but it's not all about quality here when you get to this stage. You've got to let the hammer out. And down the last side comes the big Fagan down the far end. You can hear him chugging it off. He's choking that 13-tooth comb. The cutter's shuddering across the top. Here comes Jimmy Samuels and Jimmy Fagan next and up the other end of the field. Right in amongst it, Coro. The other boys need to sharpen their axe because they're going to get left behind.
Well, 2 minutes has gone by, guys, and you need to lift your game because David Fagan's put the hammer down and he's right amongst it. The undermine comes up. He's got 8 competition sheep. and it's only just 2 minutes and 18 seconds, and he's just about halfway through sheep number 3. The pressure that he's putting on it, just putting the pressure on the back of those guys next. The hair is sticking up there. David Fagan sets out along the long blow. He's now cruising along, but don't discount James Fagan, because I think James Fagan is going to turn to the last side. He's going to be right there with this one, but David Fagan stretches out a bit more. Long blow time for Nathan Stratford. He turns. David Fagan stretches back now. Johnny McBride, he's just cruising.
Hot to trot, the old Master Blaster steps into the pen, 2:58 gone. Sheep number 4 coming out for Jimmy Fagan as well, the nephew. He rolls the sheep out the door. He's not a big statue of a man. He holds him a little bit different in the pen. Now he's down the belly and flicks it out for the wool handler. First off the crutch he goes. Jimmy Samuels next to nine. Oh no, change of pace from Nathan Stratford. Down the belly he goes on stand number 5. Over the top comes a young Moore from Ward, down and out to the flank and around. Out the last leg he goes, 2 shots left, and he's going to rock into the pen for number 4, but he's almost half a sheep behind, maybe a little bit more. Here comes Jimmy Fagan, Phil. He's turning off the top now. Winey's putting pressure on Uncle David at the other end of the field. Oh, matey, get into him.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, stand number 1. We might have a new leader in Heat 3. The nephew says, here's a message, Uncle. But Uncle mightn't want to receive it, and in they go. Stands 1 and stand 6. We've got a family feud on up here. Stand number 3 is Jimmy Samuels round the long blow. He's starting to move up a little bit. Down over the last front shoulder he comes, the young fella. Nathan Stratford on stand number 5. Right out onto the back hock. He's not that far off the lead either. Then we've got Angus Moore on stand number 2 from Ward. Away down the last side he goes. In goes Sean. No, it's Nathan Stratford for another one. Then back onto the board comes Samuels on stand number 3. Angus Moore goes in on 2. There's not a great deal between those, but we've still got this battle starting to rage, and they turn for the last side together. Come on, who's going to back the uncle? Who's going to back the nephew? Down over the last front shoulder, and David Fagan stretched it out. They've got number 5 on the board. 3 left. Who's it going to be? David Fagan goes in on 6. Then Coro, it looks like the nephew's coming along behind.
Well, make a bit of noise, James Fagan's family, because this guy, David Fagan, says he can feel him. James goes in, but David just had that little moment to get ahead, and he's now working through his pen, ladies and gentlemen. We call that farming the pen, a farming term. He started with the not so good looking ones, now he's getting through and starting to look at the better shearing sheep. He will make the most of it. Jimmy Samuels, he's shearing very well there on stand number 3. Well, Jimmy, welcome to the big boys.
Coral, I think James Fagan has got a little honey, and he's setting out after Uncle David again. Look at this. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, are you going to back the nephew? Give him a bit of encouragement. Jimmy Samuels brings another one out on 3. John, I think we've got one hell of a go here.
Oh, let's go, guys. This is Heat 3. Around the back of the head and down towards the first shoulder comes Angus Moore on stand number 2. He's having a bit of a battle there with likewise as Nathan Stratford down on stand number 5. That's sort of paired up those two. Jimmy Samuels is up toe with the tail. Here comes Sean Edmonds from Whanganui. Rolls out the belly and down the first off leg. Well, I think Jimmy, the pocket rocket, might have stepped in front this time of the old Master Blaster. Ooh, up the neck he goes. It's blow for blow. Round the back of the head, either end of the field. Who's going to hang on? Will the sheep behave themselves? We don't wish them any bad luck, but by golly, they're putting on a grand spectacle now. And touch wood, it won't blow up on them. And it's a David Fagan turn, but Jimmy's got that just half a blow again. Comes across the shoulder together. The Fagans from Tikawiti under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. Jimmy's got a different style. He's got a very, very quick hand. David chokes it on the last side. Whips it out. It could be David just by half a blow this time, Kuro. As Jimmy Samuels also drops down the board hole.
Well, it's all over to the passion now. Who's got the most passion? And David Fagan, you can't say he's got no passion. Into the undermine and the crutches, James Fagan. James Fagan has actually got 2 or 3 strokes ahead of him. He steps up the neck. The time is 7 minutes and 11 seconds as James Fagan turns to the first shoulder. Here comes this David Fagan onto the first shoulder. Has he got a little honey bunny? Onto the first shoulder he goes. He's got the little hurler. Long blow time for David Fagan. Long blow time for James Fagan. They both turn to the last side. Here comes David Fagan. Down the last side is James Fagan. Here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, 7 minutes and 40. Here it is. It's David Fagan and James Fagan. Whoa, smoking.
About a 7 and 50, unsure.
Well, it's not over yet as Angus Moore from Ward. He's got his last one on the board. Into the first front shoulder he goes and down into the long blow on stand number 2. Then we look back to Nathan Stratford on stand 5. He's got his 8th one on the board. Keep them going. Come on. They've all got a chance at getting in. Just because you come off first, it's not really the one of a guaranteed place. Stratford on 5, round onto the last side, the boy from Invercargill, but here's Angus Moore. Give him a hand on stand number 2.